government to explain how funds generated through the levy of fuel towards the road fund have been utilized. We'll be asking the question, what exactly are the concerns, given the fact that government has indicated that several national roads have been worked on? Also, how about the high cost of road construction in Uganda and reports of corruption in the procurement process? Also, what about the initiative by government to provide road units to all districts to work on the roads? Another issue we'll look at tonight. Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi and First Lady Janet Museveni interface with PAC. Janet Museveni appeared as Minister for Karamoja. The two met PAC over allegations made against them, and both insisted they are innocent, since they do not touch money in actual fact. Honorable Mbabazi was in the hot seat for directing the diversion of 600 million shillings from the PRDP budget, that's the budget for Northern Uganda, to buy a Porsche car. Janet Museveni, Honorable, was tasked to explain 9 private trips in Israel using unapproved taxpayers' cash. Both insisted that they are innocent and that those who handle financial matters at the office of the Prime Minister should instead be held accountable. Well, we'll ask the question, is it credible what they actually said in response to these allegations made against them? Speaker Rebecca Kadaga sends the members of Parliament on recess. The legislators have been sent on recess until the 2nd of April so they can consult their constituents with the marriage and divorce bill. Now, this comes as disagreements over the bill continue to rock the House, with MPs disagreeing on several clauses, among which is a proposal to legitimize cohabitation as a form of marriage. Some MPs are, however, questioning this move, saying that the disagreement could have been decided through a vote, since the bill has been around for over 47 years, actually. Others say that the recess could have been prompted by a decision by the President to have the bill discussed by the NRM caucus before it is considered in the House. Now, apart from the clause on cohabitation, what other controversial issues are MPs going to consult on? These are some of the issues we intend to look at tonight. Also, the implications, financial. How much will each MP receive so they can carry out this consultation effectively? And what measures has the House put in place to ensure that legislators actually consult? The previous experience is that some of them actually stay here in Kampala instead of going to their villages, their rural constituencies to consult. We'll also look at the significance of this bill and how, whether the NRM caucus should really be discussing this. To all our guests, I'm going to open the lines because we're still waiting for all of them. I'll read out their names. The Honorable Wafula Oguttu, Bukholi Central MP, also Shadow Minister for Works and Transport. Honorable Samuel Semugaba, Kyankwanzi County MP, also Chairman of the Physical Infrastructure Committee and a member of the NRM Party. Also, Honorable James Akena, Lira Municipality MP, member of the UPC Party. We'll be looking at these issues in the interim as we wait for them to arrive. I'd like to open the line so you can call in and tell us what you really would like to ask them. As soon as they arrive, send your questions, call in and ask the questions, and then we'll put them to the guests as soon as they get here. Our numbers 0414 348 111, 0312 260 390, 0312 261 390. I'll read out those numbers again. 0414 348 111, 0312 260 390, 0312 261 390. And in our discussion tonight, inside of Parliament, what are our MPs up to? We're analyzing some of the key issues that made the headlines in Parliament this week. Now, looking at the roads sector, in the year 2009-2010, that's the fiscal year, government started funding the road construction and maintenance budget by providing at least 1 trillion shillings every year. Now, there was a lot of excitement at that time because when the Minister of Works and Transport at the time, actually the State Minister, declared that potholes would become a thing of history. That was in the year 2009, 2010. Now, 2 years later, this is March 2013, the Minister of Works and Transport said 2 years ago that government had obtained funds, mostly from the World Bank, to tarmac up to 10,000 kilometers of roads. At that time, he also said potholes would be made a thing of the past throughout the country. Now, as if to demonstrate the level of seriousness at that time, the 6 months after, immediately after the Honorable Nasasira's pronouncements, that's in the year 2009-2010, the Ghana National Roads Authority contracted literally every non-road construction company in this country. There are over 100 of them, and they gave each one was given a specific road with a contract to work on a series of roads, a number of roads in that part of the country. Now, some of the results are yet to be seen, and there are question marks about the efficacy of some of these companies to actually deliver. Now, when you look at the current state of roads in this country, it's a story of craters and potholes. Deep gullies sweep across the roads. We've seen pictures on television and in the newspapers of roads, important roads that link districts, not being able to transport anything because they are gullied. When it rains, so many of them are washed away. We've seen bridges being washed away. People have died. Sometimes trucks are stranded for days on end. Also, even when the roads are working, the accidents, because the roads are not in a good state, are alarming. Now, according to official figures, cumulative accidents, the number of accidents total together, have been increasing by at least 20% a year for the last 10 years. That's a very high figure. 20% every year for the last 10 years. Now, in last year alone, at least 2,300 people were documented to have died in these road accidents. Most of these are caused by largely narrow roads. Some of them are largely potholes, as we've already mentioned, and there's a lot of damage caused to motor vehicles, even when you don't have accidents, leading to high maintenance costs, high replacement costs, and many times people are having to buy large vehicles, which are expensive and they consume a lot of fuel, specifically because the roads are bad and they won't accept a small vehicle. Now, as an example, government alone spends more than 100 billion shillings every year on repairing its fleet of vehicles, mostly because of bad roads. Now, if this money was saved, for instance, the money that is spent on simply repairing vehicles, it could build or even repair up to 10,000 kilometers of roads, 100 billion shillings. Now, many times also farmers cannot get a good price for their farm produce, their yields from the farms, because they can't get their produce to the markets on time. Much of it goes to rot as it's still being transported to the markets. So it affects the poor farmers in the villages negatively. They become despondent. Sometimes they find there's no reason really to produce for the market because they're not sure their produce will get to be sold. You can call in and contribute to this discussion. Again, I say tonight we're looking inside of Parliament, analyzing some of the issues that have been making headlines. We've spoken about the road sector. Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi and First Lady Janet Museveni are facing with Public Accounts Committee. Do you think their answers exonerate them? We're also talking about the Speaker sending MPs on recess to consult about the marriage and divorce bill. You can ask the questions. We'll put them to the MPs when they come here. We expect Hon Wafula Oguttu, Hon Samuel Semugaba, and Hon James Akena. Our number is 0414-348-111, 0312-260-390, 0312-261-390. When you call in, please tell us your name and where you are calling from. Some of the roads that have been documented to be in extremely bad state: Chenjojo, Hoi Mama Cindy Road. It's in a very bad state. Rukunjiri Kanungu Road, which causes tea farmers to lose on average 300 million shillings every year. It has been documented. The Kamuli Jinja Road, the Toro Mbale Suroti Road, Mbale Namalu Nakapriprit Road, and the Mukonobu Ikwekatusi Road. Those are some of the roads that have been documented as being in a very bad state. Now, the cost of road construction, Madam Feeder Road in the countryside costs between 30 and 40 million shillings to maintain, and the local government spends about 15 million shillings on this. Now, Some people have said that the cost of this, the charges for these roads are a little bit astronomical, and I've asked the question whether there is no corruption involved or inflated costs attached to these roads. Well, some of our guests have walked in right now. Honorable James Akena, Lira Municipality MP, also member of the UPC party. You're most welcome, Honorable James Akena.
Thanks very much. Sorry to be a bit late.
It's good. It's never better to come now than not to come at all. We're also joined by Hon Samuel Semugaba, Kyankwanzi County MP, also chairman of the Physical Infrastructure Committee and member of the NRM party. Let's start with the Prime Minister Mamambas and her First Lady appearing before PAC. Were you satisfied, Honorable Semugaba, with the answers they gave? Are they innocent people now that they answer those questions?
Actually, I cannot preempt the recommendations of the PAC committee. I cannot qualify if they are free or not free. However, it was their right to defend themselves. It was their right to clarify what took place. So, to me, I don't want to preempt the committee's work, because after they have interfaced with many players in that OPM money scandal, then they will come up with their own resolutions. So, for me, I find it difficult to say that they will be free or not.
Well, let's look at your own impressions.
Okay,
You've had the story for a long time.
I thank them for being bold, coming for PAC, explaining themselves. PAC was right also to get their side, so that they can have a balanced judgment in the making of their recommendations to Parliament. When it comes to Parliament, then we shall decide accordingly.
Well, let's look at this whole scandal. The President has insisted that the Permanent Secretary was a whistleblower, so he's not culpable. Does that sound credible to you?
Now I'm talking as a person, not as a chairperson of physical infrastructure or whatever, but me as a person in my conscience, I know that all funds are entrusted to an accounting officer.
Who's the Permanent Secretary?
Who is a Permanent Secretary at that level. So, to me, I think the Permanent Secretary of any department or any ministry is accountable for any funds that may be mishandled. Therefore, he deserves to explain, and if he's found culpable, definitely he has to face it and to be put to order.
Can he also be a whistleblower?
At this time, for him being a whistleblower, and yet these things never happened just once, but it was from a long time, around some years, and some accounts were operating. We hear some dormant or what accounts, and yet it is duty to find out, to make sure that he supervises, he monitors, and he ensures proper accountability of public funds. He ought to have known earlier on and to have acted, other than acting when it was too late like that, and then he takes himself to be a whistleblower. To me, I'm not on that side of saying that he's a whistleblower. You are a accounting officer entrusted with the public funds, and for over such a time, you don't supervise, you don't, when you get monitoring reports, you don't verify, you don't have a verifying team in the ministry. Such a very big office with how many ministries, sub-ministries, doing many things. Ministry for Unyoro, Ministry for Test Affairs, Ministry for Ruero, Ministry for Karamoja, Ministry for Northern, and then such a big thing, you must have a proper mechanism of how to supervise, to monitor the implementation of so many programs that are under your docket. Therefore, for me, I think he should be held responsible for the laws at a certain level.
Well, some people think it's a big ministry. It's too big to operate under one permanent.
It is not too big to operate. When somebody was serious, I think we cannot. It is because it has many undersecretaries, many ministers. So each section, it can be easily be monitored, because it has a separate, it is sort of an entity of itself, though. So there are many mechanisms. It has a very big network of monitoring and supervision and ensuring proper accountability.
What are your wrong views, the Prime Minister and the First?
However, Kazindi also did wrong, because at one time, forging also is not allowed. But then where they are
you are sure he forged?
Okay, I talk what I see on the face. I have said we shall get a report, but also forgery is not allowed. You know, I can forge your hand. Usually they have been there to defraud. So also that one we don't encourage it. Anybody in public office to forge, it is very bad. It is just an uncouth, and actually it is highly condemned.
Honorable James, what's your own feeling? The Prime Minister and the First Lady both are clean.
No, for me, the whole OPM saga starts further back, and it is very painful. In that, as we came out of the peace process, there were all these plans on how we're going to deal with the recovery of northern Uganda. And the donors initially wanted a separate fund altogether to deal with that aspect. It was government of Uganda which insisted that everybody should pull in the resources into the Peace Recovery and Development Plan, and it will be executed by the government. And this was to avoid issues like duplication of work and that sort of thing, so that there's a consistent, coherent plan. Some of the donors, like the US, went it their own way, but a lot of the donors put money into this pool account, which formed the PRDP. Now, what comes out of this is that for a period of time, resources and all this idea that it is to coordinate and to monitor and to make sure that the resources go to the right place, it is clear it has not been happening. And the gap between when the money went missing and when it was discovered, or when the whistle was blown, that is an alarming situation. And as a Ugandan, it is frightening to think that maybe in 2 years, 3 years time, you're going to find out that trillions have disappeared from the treasury. And you know, we'll now start looking around, pointing fingers. So to me, it is good that the political leaders have come up, and the Prime Minister says he takes political responsibility. But normally in political responsibility, you go a step further.
What do you do?
With such level of pilfering, you either offer your resignation,
or so you think the Prime Minister should resign? He's already said he's taking political responsibility.
Yeah, but you see, in Uganda, we don't follow through with this issue of political responsibility. What does political responsibility mean? Under your watch, this happened. So who gets the blame? And the accounting officer, what happens? You lose that element of trust, the element of confidence. As a beneficiary district, we have a lot of doubt now. Are the resources going to come? I mean, is the impact going to be there? The donors, are they still going to continue to support at the level which they're going to support? And you're not going to come back to this period again. The goodwill which was there with the ending of the war, the reconstruction, we needed to have covered some ground. 5 years from now, you cannot now come and start saying we want to reconstruct them. No, we've lost this opportunity. Generations have suffered in this from the conflict and the rebuilding of the conflict. So it is very callous to say, okay, I've taken responsibility, billions got stolen, things are going to happen, is Kazinda responsible? Kazinda could not have eaten all that money alone. And also those who are in charge of the accounts, how long did it take them to realize that something is going wrong? So OPM has to really look at addressing it, and the appointing authority also has to look at this question. It is big, politically, or to those of us in the PRDP districts. This is a big issue. We can't just brush it under the table. I believe something really needs to be done.
So you don't think the president has done enough in this regard, or the government for that matter?
No, I mean, because the whole idea of the PRDP was the rapid reconstruction, to bring those areas, to bring it up to the rest of the country. Now, money gets pilfered. We've been going around circles, then who's to blame?
That's what I mean. Pilfered is taking a little money. This is big.
This is plunder. Outright plunder. Now, in those circumstances, we needed action, and we need a lot of action, because the problems which exist are still there, and they need to be addressed.
Yes, Hon Wafula.
The president has taken a step.
What step?
Not only
what can he be able to recover? Talk to us about that. What has he been able to? We have had a lot of statements. The Prime Minister said the other day he accepts the responsibility. What does that mean to the suffering people of the North?
For that matter, in terms of recovery of some money, there is amendment we are bringing in the Anti-Corruption Act.
Kazina is in court, is in jail, suspected to have forged a signature. Nobody's ever going to recover.
At the moment, how do you call it? Is it forfeiture? Is upon the opinion of the judge. But we want to make it a law that somebody, if he has misused or mishandled or embezzled funds and has found culpable and is incriminated, he should pay back, not to leave it to the option of the judge. At the moment it is to the option of the judge. For example, there was the other Gavi funds?
Yes.
Somebody, certain lady brought back around she never brought it, but she admitted that she did wrong.
She brought it back and she was forgiven.
Then I hear the fine, is it 20 million? And yet much had got lost. That depended upon the feeling of the what? Of the judge. But we want to make it a law. We are bringing an amendment through a private member's amendment bill of anti-corruption by Honorable Simbo of Machindi, and we are ready to support. Even in our impact in a caucus, we agreed in Kyankwanzi, and the president is in support. So we want to pass that one so that we can be able to always recover the money lost to those who will be found guilty.
Akena, there is hope. Money is going.
There is hope.
This man comes from the NRM, so if you can understand why he says what.
I don't
Do you expect that this money is ever going to be recovered?
No, a lot of this money is lost. Huge chunks of it. But the whole problem is, how can people be so callous and plunder to such a level? And this is not, okay, OPM has come up, but in very many sectors, I'm sure this is the sort of thing which is going on. It's just OPM had that extra money. But I'm sure that, there's some investigations going on, false accounting, false seminars and whatever which have taken place. But a lot of money has been plundered for a number of years. So we really need to address it. On the issue of OPM and looking at the suffering which I came and I found, it is something which we should not be able to tolerate. Also the issue of Gavi funds, where we're dealing with life and death situations of people. Those are things we should not be comfortable to brush under the carpet. So this is something which...
Because even now people are answering, was money lost? If it was lost, then who took it?
Alright, this is Confirm. I'm going for a break. We'll be back to stay tuned.
Uganda Communications Commission is currently conducting nationwide mandatory SIM card registration. Register your SIM card in a few easy steps. Visit your telecom operator's customer care center or any other designated registration center and provide your phone number, a copy of a valid ID or any other valid ID with accompanying photograph such as a passport, driver's permit, voter's card, or a letter from your LC. Information on your physical address or residence will also be required. SIM card registration protects mobile phone users from incidences of fraud, incitement, terrorism, and hate messages, among others. Please note that SIM card registration is mandatory, and those who fail to register risk having their SIM cards deactivated. All information shall remain confidential. Let's make communication safe. Register your SIM card today.
So I'm chilling at home with my crew. The boys are waiting to watch the game on the telly, but the chicks want to go to the beach. So how do we play it? A glance across the room. Eye contact is made. A plan is hatched. Pete will get some sand. Lots of it. The Jeff will take care of the deco, Tim the entertainment, and I the clubs. And so we bring the beach to our apartment. If we can't go to the beach, we bring the beach to us. It's just how we do.
It's not about where you're at. It's the difference you bring. Get a fresh take on things. Club is brewed longer for easier drinking. Brewed slower for great taste. Club, tastefully different. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18.
Excuse me, what is this 300 shillings on my bill for?
That is for the tinted candles, madam.
And this 100 shillings?
That is for the air conditioning.
And this 200 shillings?
For the blue walls, ma'am.
I can't believe this!
Why pay for what you don't use or ask for? That's why we at Standard Chartered are introducing the Easy Go account, the first current account of its kind that gives you complete control of your banking charges. For more details, visit a Standard Chartered branch or call 0414-340077.
Would you like to leave me a tip, please?
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90.
Welcome back on Spectrum. Tonight, inside of Parliament, what are our MPs up to? Analyzing some of the key issues that made headlines in Parliament this week. Our guests tonight, Honorable James Akena, Lira Municipality MP, also a member of the UPC party, Honorable Samuel Semugaba, Kyankwanzi County MP, Chairman of the Physical Infrastructure Committee, member of the NRM party. That guest couldn't come tonight, Honorable Wafula Oguttu, Shadow Minister for Works and Transport. Honorable Akena, let's talk about roads. What is the essence of this road fund? The opposition has been alleging that the NRM government has been challenging the NRM government to account for over 5 trillion shillings, which it has received toward the road sector through the budget over the last 5 years. What is the essence of this road fund? Can you give us some background to it?
The road fund came when we dealt with the Road Fund Act and when we were dealing with UNRWA and the road fund. And then there was a tax put on the fuel levy to build up an account for basically road maintenance. In my constituency, we have been able to realize some periodic maintenance through the road fund. And I've been monitoring the funds which come on that basis, on a quarterly basis. We are able to do a lot more. But definitely where the resources are released, there has to be accountability. And I will support any accountability from the fund. Because it took some time before the fund started being released, in that it started to accumulate. But as of now, let's say for the last maybe 2.5 years, we have been receiving regular remittances to the municipality in order to maintain the roads. And there's a calculation which deals with both Maram and tarmac roads. Being a municipality, we have a mixture of both. Right. But what we lack in Lira municipality and most of the municipalities is the equipment to maintain the tarmac roads. In this latest round of equipment, we all got graders and tippers, but you are not going to use a grader to repair a tarmac road. And most of the up-country stations do not have roadworks equipment for the tarmac roads. So those ones are continually getting worse off and worse off. The accountability, I'm not on public accounts, so I don't have much information on that.
Honorable Semugaba, you are from the Physical Infrastructure Committee. Give us some, first of all, talk to us about your own constituency. How is it faring with regard to the road fund?
The road fund has been used optimally in my constituency, though it is small or it is little, given the kilometers, the kilometers we have of the roads to work upon. So we need more money. The road fund has not been operationalized since it was enacted. So my committee is pushing hard, and in all forums we have agreed to operationalize the road fund. Right away, the NRM caucus signed everywhere in all forums. Now, Minister of Finance is bringing an amendment on the URA Act so that it can allow URA, that is Uganda Revenue Authority, to collect that money and on a monthly basis bank it on the road fund account, other than the consolidated fund, because currently the law of URA states that all money has to be collected and banked on the consolidation fund account. Then there the government has a lot of things to do. There comes Ududa, there comes what, there is security, to keep security, to do what. So you find that money is served to different departments. So now we are going to operationalize it. We have agreed, and now the Minister of Finance has already worked out the whole documentation. They are going to cabinet, and before we read the budget, they will have brought it to Parliament, so that beginning with the new financial year year we operationalize the road fund, because currently road fund has been only budgeted from the consolidated fund 280 billions. And yet these 280 billions, they are for road maintenance. Road fund was designed for road maintenance. But in this the amendment they are bringing also, they are to include the road fund in the development of some new roads other than maintenance, because we shall get a lot of money. When we calculated, for example, last financial year, we found if we had collected these levies, fuel levies, the fuel vehicles from outside crossing Uganda and whatever, we found money which came up last financial, it was around 888 billion. So if that money comes, it can help on maintenance and help on even new roads. This road fund benefits UNRA on maintaining these roads. For example, is it last financial year, when it was beginning the other time, we added over 13,000 kilometers of roads to UNRA, from district level to UNRA to maintain them. But we never at all added any single amount of money. They remained budgeting for road fund 280 billions. Then how could they maintain all those roads they had added them on? So now that's why we're urging, we want road fund to be operationalized, and we have agreed that one has no question. If not, we shall not pass the budget there, because we have all agreed, and the president has already ordered them that please, this one is unacceptable, let us implement this. So in my district, the sub-counties are getting little money, 3 million, 8 millions, but with these graders we have sent to the districts, they are putting in fuel to grade just the 5 kilometers 10.
So how's it been working in your place?
It is working well, and I'm appreciative to my district, Kyankwanzi, led by Mr. Chinene Chairman with his team, the council. They have used the money well.
You have no question?
Yes.
From what you have raised, this can do a lot more.
Except the problem is UNRA, because UNRA roads, even those which they maintain,
they're not well done,
because they have a lot to do. Last time we were arguing that World Bank at one time and other partners had refused to get machines to UNRA stations. But like Hoima station, it has Masindi, Chiriandongo, Bulisa, Kyankwanzi, Chiwoga, the Greater Chiwari, Hoima. How can one grader, one wheel roader maintain those roads? So we agreed, and His Excellency ordered that we should build capacity of those UNRA stations by providing them with machines. Even if we don't manage well today, but we may add one this financial year, but we shall continuously.
No, using the force account mechanism, UNRA has the ability to use those which have been provided to the various districts if they're going to be doing any major works within that.
No, that one, let me clarify. It cannot manage, because we gave them only a grader and a tipper and a pickup. What can they do? And that grader, you know, it is used on these district roads, maintenance of district roads. Then what about the sub-counties? You know, previously sub-counties also we are contracting, but now they make a timetable to move around the district in those sub-counties. Though somewhere else, like mine, we have assisted them a bit, but it cannot be sustainable.
My disagreement here is, one, this equipment at the district level was not there previously. It is there. Yes. This extra funding was not there previously. It is there. And in my municipality, the extra funding has made a difference. I am concerned that the money should have been more. Then we should have been able to do more. But it has made a difference. We have, even in the northern region, the main center, whatever the regional center, is in Gulu. But all of these centers here, if I want to do a tarmac road, like for example, we've been trying to patch up the main street, none of these, There's nothing, even forced account. I cannot borrow from Apache. Apache has just a small stretch of tarmac. Gulu is in the same situation in which I'm in. Soroti, whatever, the whole area, you don't have that equipment. Now, the equipment which was done was standard, grader, tipper, and whatever for all those districts. Yes, if you want to do a major issue, maybe you can borrow from these other districts, but you cannot do something specific. But I'm definitely going to follow up on this issue of increasing the funding. But I've got like here example of the releases to the municipalities. It has increased when the issue of the road fund kicked in. But surely, definitely we can do a lot more.
All right.
I can give, for example, like third quarter 2011-2012, close by here, in Tebe Municipality got 232 million. Jinja Municipality 234 million, Lira Municipality 204. So there are releases for every municipality and district, because municipalities will come under separate budget.
On making the heavy work, we put up 6 stations, but at the moment it is 2 which are well stocked. Guru station, if you want a heavy grade and heavy machines and others, these the vibrators. Now that region goes to Guru to get those things. Then Western, Mbarara. Then others we are going to.
Let's move forward. Honorable Akena, you people have been senators until the 2nd of April. Was it worthwhile? Some people, it has been said, they don't even go to the constituencies, they stay in town. Is it worthwhile, and how much are we spending on it?
I'm not aware of any funding which is going to take place as far as this consultation is going to concern. But Parliament is responding to the concerns of citizens. And a lot of those concerns really come out of, let me be careful my choice of words, not having the proper facts concerning the marriage and divorce bill and what is currently existing, the Divorce Act and the Marriage Act, as enacted in 1904. People are not aware. Many people do not even know that there are laws which exist. And last weekend, I was in the constituency, I was listening to a radio program. What the general public are discussing, maybe coming off the radios, and it's clear that the people have completely no clear view of what exactly is contained in the marriage and divorce bill and what the purpose it came for, how it was brought about. So I think it's important that Parliament responds to that concern, because people are getting very agitated. There are important sectors of society who are raising their concerns, and they will need to see whether their concerns are contained in the law, and if it is not contained in the law, we should be able to get it from them and bring it when we come back to deal with the marriage and divorce bill.
Honorable Semugaba, is it worthwhile, or you might as well stay in Kampala?
It is worthwhile.
Oh, really?
For me, I don't prefer staying in Kampala.
Oh.
No. The moment I have any free time, I need to be with my people who brought me here, because I'm a mere representative. So they need to have a feedback. So we are going back and consult them, especially so on cohabitation, especially so on this marital rape, and many other things. But at the same time, today Speaker has provided us with those old laws, the marriage bill, the Marriage Act, the Divorce Act. So we are going also to read through, then we look at this one, then we consult our people, they give us views. As they are giving us, we need still to guide them. We first conceptualize and even understand these old laws. So as they are giving us their views, but we need still to guide them accordingly. And then we pass a good law that will not destabilize the society, because family is the smallest unit of a nation. So if the family crumbles, then it means the whole nation will be in chaos and anarchy. So the Speaker was wise enough. We thank her for sending us for this short recess, so that we can have some consultations. And we have to be wise how to make make it public media like this, and we allow them to phone and even to go to the villages deep.
All right.
Like that. So,
before we hear from
but we want to assure people that we shall pass a very good law. And if you find the old laws are enough,
then we
can leave it.
We
instead amend small good few things which are in this law. We can decide to amend the other old one, just we fit them in, other than bringing that the marriage and divorce. And that, for example, me at this moment, I will never and I will not support a title of marriage and divorce bill.
What would you like?
It should be marriage bill,
not divorce.
If it is divorce, let it be separated. We shall deal with the divorces. But now, if it is marriage, let us handle marriage, because we want harmony, we want peace, and people to live together and develop this nation. He said, go marry, be together, multiply, subdue this world.
And he also said
that is a godly what? A godly sort of decree.
God also said, I hate divorce. One of the few things he actually said.
Let's
hear from the listeners. This is Spectrum on Radio 1. You can call in now. Our numbers 0414-348-111, 0312-260-390, 0312-261-390. When you call in, please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Spectrum, hello? Yes, Honorable. Akena, you think we should not be talking about divorce? What do you think about cohabitation?
For example, divorce, it's a reality. It happens. And
okay, Spectrum, hello? 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 Good evening, your name? Your name, sir? Yes, Martin.
Yeah, now, my issue with marriage and divorce bill is that we tend to look at certain issues in an unconventional manner. For instance, there is a lot of section talking about people who have found money. And this committee accounted ratification and signing of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Because instead of promoting harmony and unity and diversity, it is promoting discrimination and stigmatization against a certain set of the population and other people in psychosocial disabilities. If the issue of a spouse mind is dealt with and removed from that bill, I think the other issues we could discuss, but I think it has got fundamental human rights. It's just that it is not addressed, that we like to very much.
Alright, let's go out of you, Honorable Semugaba. Is it putting the wrong emphasis on that particular point?
To me, I don't.
Alright, Spectrum, hello. Have another caller. Hello. Hello. Okay, we seem to have lost you. Yes?
For us as Parliament, we are interested in passing a law that is bringing harmony in society. And we shall not at any time pass a law that is segregative or that is spreading hatred.
Alright, Spectrum, hello. Yes, your name?
Yeah, this is from Lagos.
Godfrey, yes?
I wanted to comment on marriage and divorce in a way that I like the way people Kyankwanzi is it's good for us to discuss it and understanding what we need to look at different levels. One, the community determines how they can apply to them. And I think the people who are there, where you find both the mother and the father, they are working. So the thing to bring the issue of, self-care among the parents, because the father would be late in Western country, and you're going to hide some of them. And even doesn't say, the man in the home will not take the difference. And at the end of the children will be the problem in the next year.
Alright. A distinction. Spectrum, hello. Hello. Yes, sir, your name?
Yeah, this is Linus.
Yes, Linus.
Yes, I'm earlier you were talking about roads.
Yes.
I think, like, one honorable mentioned Nasasira's name and that kind of thing. But I think, during the reign of Nasasira, government had enough money to fund road projects until, formed. And when, formed, there's a way they formed as the government partners came in and the road sector is performing. So it's not right to blame other ministers because of getting sectors that did not have money.
All right. Let's get back to the studio. Honorable Akena.
I don't think we mentioned Nasasira at any point.
I mentioned him earlier in the brief.
Oh, in the brief. Okay.
Yes. Honorable Semugaba, you were still talking about marriage and divorce.
First and foremost on roads, it's true that maybe during the other time there was little money, but still it was money. Even this time there is a lot of money. We say a lot of money, but still we say little money. What is important is emphasizing proper use of the funds. However little or much, but even now this 9th Parliament, that's why we are up to. That's why we go to the field. That's why we put them to task. That's why we ask them, why are the rates of Uganda more greatly differ from the neighboring regions? Then also they endeavor to explain
roads are more expensive here than other places.
The cost. But then what brings it, like Rwanda, Tanzania and elsewhere, land belongs to government. Here land belongs to the people. Compensation, you may find compensation equals the cost of the road.
No, but that does not come when we're repairing roads. For example, a road which has existed and you're redoing the work on it. That issue of compensation will not come in there. Now, it is still very expensive. Another issue I have on roads is the durability. I have been here, when I came first from exile, they were working on this road behind Mulago, where you come from the roundabout heading towards, is it called Mawanda?
From one roundabout to the other roundabout?
To the other roundabout.
Yes.
They were working on it. And since I've been here, this is now, 7 years, it has been done, I think, 3 times. The same route. It is done, it keeps on falling apart. It is done, it keeps on falling apart. Quality of work, that is where I have the biggest problem.
I agree with you.
You spend a lot of money and it collapses. And this issue of quality and durability, I have been to Rome and I've stood on a road which was there before Christ. These old stone roads, you find them in Rome, they're still there. They have gone for millennia. You can't say they had massive technology, equipment and that sort of thing. It was really relying on manpower and a design.
Rudimentary
manpower. Now, we need to borrow some of these issues and bring roads which are durable. Also within the context of Uganda, there are roads I can mention which have lasted 15, 20 years.
There's the one from Wandegia, done under Dr. Obote's time in the 60s. From Wandegia to Chira Road. It's had minimum maintenance.
Yeah, there are many roads. I mean, even the Bugiri Malaba, Bugiri Busia was done early 80s. It is falling, it's got problems with it, it is still there. But then from Bugiri, the road fell apart. How many times have we worked on it? We've had contractors from Bugiri to Jinja. So we need to deal with this issue with, if whatever little money, we must do effective work. If we can get this road off the table, 20 years or something, concentrate on something, that's the attitude we need when it comes to dealing with roads. Now, the one thing I want to say on marriage and divorce, where I disagree with my colleague here, whether you put divorce in the title or you don't put divorce in the title, it is happening. The issue is how are we going to manage that problem when the divorce occurs. We must listen to the people, make sure their concerns are taken, but I don't think the title is going to prevent the divorce or is going to break families because the problem is upon us.
Now,
we need to just be guided within the context of the law and fairness. How do we deal with that situation?
But when we say marriage, let us talk about marriage. Because marriage is for harmony.
So when we talk about divorce on another day?
On divorce, then we shall get, because previously they had done it well. All the law it is marriage law and then divorce act. Let us handle it in that line. Because as a this country is a religious country. Given the national anthem, given the motto, therefore we should remain.
A lot of corruption is difficult.
And the level of corruption, we should squarely fight corruption. When we are united, it should not be politicized. I agree with my friend here, my brother. Let us join hands. That's why in Parliament, when we are on corruption, we are serious.
All rise as one.
Yes. So as Ugandans, please. But the problem, it is these other Ugandans. When you are in office and you are genuine enough and you do your things and you don't accumulate wealth, they start condemning you. Now who is that? Oh, he has done nothing out of this office.
They give them, they take them to some place and give them
the office
certain particulars.
For eating.
I want to end on one
that
thing.
perception is wrong. The society should leave it. Let us all of us come up and condemn corruption, and we bring up our children in a proper manner. Because it is those children, let us teach them how to live a life of integrity and a life of honesty.
There was not so much corruption in the past. How would you explain this upside?
The whole world moral backbone has broken. Go to Britain, biggest companies have collapsed. Go to USA, everywhere companies have they have broken down because of corruption. Some important banks in Britain. So there is a general evil which began during the time of Adam and Eve. Cain killed Abel. So now we should repent and come back to the real light and fight corruption, and all of us live.
We need a political will. We need a political will, and it needs to start from the highest offices to fight corruption. Zero tolerance to corruption is the way we're going to be able to reduce corruption. And secondly, it needs to be done. Take it out of the manifesto and bring it into reality. Secondly, the marriage and divorce bill. I want it to be very clear to everybody who's listening. That's a government bill. It was brought by the government, and so if he is raising any issue on the title, how it was brought, please raise it with your minister who brought that bill and tabled it. Parliament will do its work, study the bill, and come up with the best possible for the people of Uganda.
They're saying they're taking it to the caucus. Is that the right thing to do?
I'm not in the caucus. I will deal with it on the floor and with my constituents.
But for us as members of NRM, definitely we work together like that, and that's how we develop this.
Thank you very much, dear guest, Honorable James Akena, MP for Lira Municipality. Thank you for coming to Spectrum. Honorable Samuel Semugaba, Kyankwanzi County MP, also Chairman of the Physical Infrastructure Committee, a member of the NRM Party. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond. Spectrum. We'll be back tomorrow. Up next is the news.
There are those who sit around waiting for things to happen. But then there are those who make things happen. Take a closer look. While some people follow trends, there are those who set them. While many people dream of what could be, there are those who make their dreams a reality.